Welcome to Folk and Flames. On today's episode, we're going to watch Bangalore's most celebrated biryani type, which is the military style. Let's dive into the ingredients. To a jar, let's add the mint leaves, coriander, and the green chilies. Add a little water and make a fine paste. And this is how the consistency should look. I'm going to use a cooker to cook the mutton first. I've taken roughly 400 grams of mutton. This is the front shoulder of the mutton that I've used here. To this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and then add maybe a 1.5 glass of water and cook until the mutton is done. Now let's make the foundation for the biryani. Let's prep the masala base. In a heavy bottom vessel, I'm adding around roughly 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. I've used groundnut oil here. And I'm going to add in all the dry spices that is mentioned in the ingredients. That's bay leaf, cinnamon, lava stone, mace, cloves, star anise, and 5 cardamoms. Let's saute the spices for maybe roughly a minute. And then we're going to add in the sliced onions. I've taken 2 medium sliced onions here. Unlike Hyderabadi biryani, we don't have to cook the onions until they are brown or golden brown. We can just saute until it is translucent or pink. Let's add in 2 tomatoes which are finely chopped. We need to cook the tomatoes until they are soft. To this, I will be adding a ginger garlic paste and cook all the ingredients until the raw smell of the ginger is gone and the tomato is cooked nice and soft. Okay, the tomatoes are cooked. We can add in the green paste that we prepared earlier, which is green chilies, coriander, and mint. We need to cook this masala until for maybe a couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, I would say. The raw smell of the ingredients must be going, and you can see the oil separating. You can see the oil is separated. To this, we are adding 50 grams of curd. You can just roughly cook it for a minute, not much. Adding the ingredients at the right stage is very key. At each stage you would have seen I'll be adding another ingredient only after the oil is separated and they are well cooked. So these are all must steps which you guys need to follow while you're making biryani to achieve the same taste and flavor. Meanwhile, let's check if the mutton has cooked. Make sure you open the lid only after the pressure is completely released. I think the mutton is cooked. I'm going to just take a piece and check. You can see, it is cooked. The mutton is cooked nice and soft. We need to use the broth for our the biryani. We're going to measure how many cups we're going to receive. I think roughly around 3 cups we might receive. And we're going to use that while you're cooking the rice. So don't throw the broth away. Now to the masala base, let's add in the cooked mutton and give it a quick mix. Remember, the mutton is already cooked. We don't have to recook it with the masala. We just need to stir it for a couple of minutes and then add in the rice, the soaked rice. I've roughly taken 2.25 cup of rice, which is 400 grams of rice, and soaked it in water for 30 minutes. I drained out the water and now I'm just going to add in the rice. The water is being retained. We will check the broth quantity and replace with the water accordingly. Just give a gentle mix. The rice would be soft because it has been soaked for nearly 30 minutes. So there are chances of the rice breaking. So just be very gentle when you're mixing. Once we add the rice and mix it, it's time to add in the broth first. We've got 3 glasses of the broth. We're going to add that, and then we're going to add 1.5 cup of water. So that is totally 4.5 glass of water. The ratio to the rice and water is simple. It is for especially for this particular rice, it is for every 1 cup of rice we need to add 2 cups of water. We have taken 2.25 cup of rice, and hence I'm adding here 4.5 cups of water. You can see this is my fourth glass of water, and I'm going to add another half a cup of it. If you follow this principle, and your rice is never going to fail you once you put it on dum and remove it from the dum, it is going to be cooked perfectly, and also it's going to be flaky. Then I'm going to stick to each one another. At this stage, let's test for the seasoning and add the ingredient accordingly. I've added roughly a teaspoon of salt to it. Until now, I've cooked the entire process with the lid open. Especially after adding the rice, do not close the lid. There are possibilities of the rice overcooking because we have already soaked it for 30 minutes. So leave it open and do not close the lid. I'm going to add a teaspoon of garam masala just to enhance the flavor. There are no other powdered masala that we added into it except turmeric. So this is the only flavor enhancer that is used. I've just used a packet garam masala. It's not a homemade recipe, or there's no secret ingredient to it. Just give it a quick mix. You can see the water is drained, and the rice is almost 60% cooked. This is the right time for us to put it on dum. So I'm going to use an aluminium foil on top of the vessel and cover it completely, and place the lid on top of it, and just gently press the edges around, so that we'll try to seal as much as the air as much as possible. So just be careful, the vessel is hot, and the pressure when it's releasing from the corners could be really hot, so be careful there. Now for the dum, I've kept the flame at the lowest, and I'm going to place a pan, and now I'm going to place the biryani pot on top of this. This helps us to prevent the direct heat to the pot. That way we can have the rice on a slow dum. I'm going to cook it for 10 minutes, and I'm going to give another 2 minutes of rest period after I switch off the flame, and then break the dum. So it's been 12 minutes now, 10 minutes for the dum and 2 minutes after the flame was switched off. I'm going to take off this aluminum foil. Be careful while doing it. The hot air is still inside trapped, and it can hurt. You'll see the rice would be cooked. Wow, it's perfectly done. My rice is cooked perfect. The mutton is also cooked perfect, and enjoy the biryani. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so that you get the notification once we upload the videos. Thank you.